Sends Walker. Knocked down.
Oh my God! Davis is going running all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.
In trouble. He's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again.
Jackson takes it himself. Look at him turn back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles.
I have never seen this before in my life.
Still looking. Firing. Near corner. It's caught! Denver! Unbelievable!
And welcome to the fourth down fiasco.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fourth Down Fiasco, your go-to podcast for all things football, brought to you by BetStamp. BetStamp is the sports bookie of all sports bookies because they have all your favorite sports bookies all in one place just for you. You can check them out at signupexpert.com/fiasco. Place a $10 bet. Who knows? Maybe you'll win something. But at the end of the day, if you don't win anything, it's never our fault. With me, as always, are my co-hosts and contributors, Danny Weber and Tanner Vinsky. Say hello to the people for me, fellas.
Hello.
And they sound incredibly depressed because, this is the Fourth Down Fiasco, and the AFLE and the EFA both are a complete fiasco right now.
Yeah. And we were texting earlier this morning in our FDF group chat. We're like, what are we going to talk about today? It's like the EFA hasn't said anything. The AFLE hasn't really done much. And then like 2 hours later, everything just hit the fan.
Everything just hit the fan. Well, before we dive in real quick, gentlemen, I just have to say this. That is the sound of me pouring one up for what was at one point American football in Europe. We may never see the like of it again.
Well, it wouldn't go that far, but
it's not looking good, brother. We are going downhill quickly right now.
It's looking grim, but it's not over yet. But the grimmest part of it all, I can probably let Tanner speak more on that, but his lifeline in European football is, at least this year, no more. As in the Madrid Bravos are packing up shop. Maybe forever, maybe for one season. Who knows?
Yeah, I'd like to give a special fuck you to both the EFA and the AFLE. Bunch of clowns running their clown world. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't know. We had a good thing going with Madrid. I mean, they were an exciting team. I was really excited to watch them this year, to be honest. I didn't think they were going to be a competitor. I didn't think they were going to be one of the best teams. But I was hyped to see Arthur Kingdom. I was hyped to see Ethan Garbers. I was really curious to see how he was going to do in Europe. I was really excited for the Madrid-Paris games again. Those were my favorite games from the last two seasons. And I think even the QB duel just in that matchup is great. I mean, you got Magic Zach, like pretty much a European product at this point. Like his whole career has been defined by his time in Europe, and compared to a guy who was really successful in college. And, that would bring a lot of faith to a lot of guys going over to Europe to play. If it's like, look, Zach Edwards is outperforming Ethan Garbers, who played in a big program, played in a good college, and just, it was going to be great. It was going to be a lot of fun. And now I have like zero excitement for the shitty ass leagues we're going to watch. I'm still going to watch it because this is our content and this is what we do. And I'm not going to be happy about it though. I was really excited for this season, even with all the mess that was going through. And then they decided to nuke my fucking team because we got a bunch of petty little assholes that can't fucking play nice in the sandpit. I don't know. It's just a bunch of children running everything. It's ridiculous. And shout out Jaime, honestly. Like, a lot of people are going to sit there and shit on Jaime, but dude, this is, from the great time to go listen to our Jaime interview, by the way, if you haven't, it's very relevant right now. But if you listen to it, you're going to understand Jaime as a person. I mean, he's a smart dude. He's a very down-to-earth dude. I mean, he was probably one of our favorite interviews we've had on the podcast just because he was a dude that loved football. Like, this was a passion project for him. And when you fucking suck the passion out of a passion project, why do it? All right. Like, if he's not in love with the sport anymore because you guys can't figure your shit out and you guys can't come together and do a merger, then why the fuck is he going to keep bleeding money? He has other businesses. He has other things going on in his life. Well, he's just going to sit there and just keep lighting money on fire while everybody's like, oh, are we going to play this year? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And it's like, cool. That's great. This is an awesome time for these owners who love football to spend their time on. And that's the thing is I'm not usually someone who defends owners. But in the European football space, I defend the shit out of these owners because they deal with some bullshit from these leagues. And they're all there happily losing money. Every single owner we know, every single one that we've talked to, they're sitting there and they're like, yeah, we'll just keep lighting our money on fire because we want to fucking have American football in Europe.
We like football.
Yeah, they like football. And like, you're never going to see that from American companies. You're never going to see that shit that are just going to, they're all profit driven. None of them want to do passion project. And I'm saying this as a fucking social worker. That's the whole point. We're supposed to lose money. And these motherfuckers are scared of losing money. But European football owners, they're not. Jaime would have kept losing money if he was still excited about football in Spain. And he fucking did his job, man. He brought random guy, barely knew much about football. He just knew he fell in love with it. He had a great time with it. And he put together a competitive roster. And he put Spanish football as like a moniker in Europe. They were competitive. It was very realistic for Spain to win a championship on the European stage with how good their teams were. So he did his job. The EFA and the AFLE aren't. And then you got a bunch of little fucking children running around celebrating the death of this team. And it's like, fucking grow up. I don't know. Like, this could all be avoided if everybody would just fucking, put their dicks away, act like men, and fucking join together and unify the leagues. We wouldn't have this issue. But now I don't get to watch the team that I was rooting for. And I'm not picking another team. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go pick some random other European team that's just going to get railed on by these other guys. I'm not going to be sitting here just bouncing on it saying thank you. Like, I'm sick of this shit. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I'm going to keep going in circles. I'm going to keep fucking
you're fine.
Pissing off every owner and or not the owners. I'm sure
some of the owners. Yes.
Some of the owners, but everybody's going to be pissed if I just keep talking. So I'm just going to shut my mouth and be a good little boy. Fuck you.
No, I mean, you made a really good point. And as someone who has lost a team to poor management, I understand your pain, number one. But number two, yeah, we have been told from some inside sources that Madrid taking a step back is not because of money. It wasn't because Jaime, like you were saying, Tanner, Jaime was cool with it. He was like, this is fun. I'm having a good time. Like, from what we understand, Jaime made really good money before he ventured into the American European football space. Like, that's, kind of common knowledge. And it's really unfortunate. Something that we were talking about before the show started was how frustrating it is. And I'm going to kind of pivot to some of the other talking points that we have for the day is, the EFA released their schedule. And last week, the AFLE, right after we dropped our pod saying, the EFA is going to drop their schedule. The AFLE is going to try and beat them to it. The AFLE beat them to it. And Danny has an inside source that let us know, and it's from one of the owners of one of the teams that said that, they didn't check with any of the teams to make sure that it worked with our schedules. They just put out a schedule just so they could beat the EFA to publishing a schedule. And now here the EFA just dropped a new website, and it's hot garbage. It is, as someone who just recently designed a website for a multi-million-dollar company, it is garbage. It is hot garbage. And it pisses me off that we're doing this back and forth crap. And both leagues have about half of the equation figured out. They've got about half of it figured out. The EFA has it figured out in terms of like, hey, this is probably how we should structure things to make sure that people get their money and that we don't fuck people over and that people get paid, right? They've got that part figured out. What they lack, though, is any ability to market themselves whatsoever. And any type of somebody please hire the people from Queer Eye for the love of God and tell them, hey, this is how colors are supposed to look together. This is how text is supposed to look together. Like, everything that they touch in terms of like a design standpoint is hot garbage. And the new logo, hot garbage. You cannot make a league that has no marketable personality to it. But that's what the AFLE has. But then they have terrible contracts over on the AFLE. So again, you've got two halves of an equation that if they could just, like Tanner said, stop trying to measure dicks in front of people and actually take time to say, hey, you're better than I am in this area and I'm better than you in this area. Why don't we come together and make one unified league like it used to be? Like, it's not a hard equation. 1 + 1 = 2. 0.5 plus 0.5 = 1. If that's what you want to say, like the EFL or the ELF was the one. It was a great league that, aside from its terrible use of money, was something that we could all back and get behind. Okay,
Can you imagine right now if we had the 10 teams, we had the 7 EFA teams that, Madrid, but Madrid is still there. There's 7 teams. And then we added Rhine, Vienna, and Wrocław, and that was just our league. We had 10 teams.
Dog, it would be great.
It'd be amazing. It'd be a movie. But instead, I'm excited that I don't get to watch Madrid and Paris play against each other. I'm excited I don't get to see Madrid play at all. And I'm really excited I get to see the fucking Vienna Vikings 42-piece, the fucking London lollygaggers, or, like whatever the hell they're going to call them. Or, sorry, 35-0, because they're probably not going to be allowed to beat them by more than 35.
London Warriors, by the way.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. I mean, it's just...
Warriors, brother, they lost a big war in 1776.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's like Danny's going to 35-piece them.
But that's awesome, dude. I'm so glad I get to just watch Vienna and Ryan crush a bunch of shitty-ass rosters and shitty-ass teams that have no development and have no substance at all and are just made out of fucking thin air, and they don't have a schedule for them yet because they don't even know if they're real. So that's cool. I'm really glad that that's going on instead of, watching competent franchises like the Stuttgart Surge or the Madrid Bravos play.
Yep.
Yeah, I forget which AFLE team announced that they're going to have open tryouts in like a month.
Awesome. Yeah. Get the plumbers out there. They're going to do really...
April for tryouts or end of March or something.
Have we ever done open tryouts before?
Every team does.
Okay, just making sure. Sorry, we've just never talked about open tryouts before on this pod. So
not something we usually talk about because we don't understand homegrowns that much.
Okay,
we leave that one to Matt.
Oh, okay, just for homegrown. Sorry, I'm thinking also for A and E imports, and I'm like, brother, they really are just like, hey, Americans, come fight for your spot. Oh, whoo. I was like, really, this is in shambles. But okay,
no, just homegrowns. Okay,
still,
but. Yeah, we're beating a dead horse saying that they should merge. I know the ELF and the EFA tried to merge back in November, December, whatever it was, and the debt limit got too high. And looking back, probably should have just bought the ELF out.
I mean, yeah, based on the information you were just given, Danny, what was it that about teams and the new ones and the franchises getting paid?
Oh, yeah, the AFLE teams getting a bunch of money to just get funded for nothing.
Yeah.
Here's a bunch of money just to start up real quick so we have...
Do you remember those numbers? Because I remember those numbers.
It was north of $1 million. I'll give you that much.
Yeah. So this is all, whenever we say the numbers, it's all allegedly because we don't want to get sued. Granted, what are you going to sue? I have student debt. Like, you're more than welcome to take that from me. But supposedly teams, these new startup franchises that have appeared out of thin air, your Paris, Franzia?
Florence, yeah.
Sorry, Franzia is the really cheap wine brand. My bad.
We're gonna get roasted.
Well, it's
waiting to wake up
the Italian pronunciation.
Be like, why don't you speak Italian? It's like, my bad.
Yeah. Regardless, so yeah, the new Italian team, the London team, Paris, and Alpine are getting not only a $300K revenue share, but also are just getting an upfront $1 million loan.
Yeah, and you can probably find all this information outside. It's not like we're that special.
Yeah. Again,
we found a term sheet on Reddit.
It's been talked about for sure.
We found a term sheet on Reddit. It's not hard to figure out.
and a relatively accurate one on Reddit too. At that, that's the sad part. But yeah, if you just have these $1 million loans just to give out to teams, then yeah, why didn't you just buy off the debt?
Because they're a bunch of clowns.
We know how much money that these investors are pumping into each league. It's a lot more than what it would have cost to buy the ELF out. And I mean, yes, there's contract disputes about how teams want to operate and figure it all out. But it's like, just figure it out for us. Like, without a league, you can't have fans. And if you have an incompetent league, you're not going to have any fans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my favorite part about it, though, is it's just like they thought the better solution was to spawn 4 teams out of nowhere in 4 random-ass cities that didn't have an EFA team the previous year.
Paris.
Paris. I mean, yeah, the whole Paris thing. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous.
But I give it
the other 3. They thought that was the better solution, was to get 3 teams in 3 cities they never had, and then a second Paris team. They thought that was better to do than to join with the EFA and work on paying the debt off of the ELF and bringing the ELF back. Because we've said in the past, you know what sounds better than first championship game? 6th championship game, right? Mm-hmm. That sounds a lot better.
And in 4 years, you're at 10th. You're in double digits in 4 years.
Yep.
Yeah. And not only that, but again, the brand recognition of it all, like people don't, as a marketing person and, my full-time job and my career since I've graduated college has been about like marketing and branding. Like people respect the brand. People respect knowing, hey, this is what I'm going to get out of this particular entity, right? And it's just like with the NFL, I know that there's talks about like expansion franchises and things like that. But if tomorrow the NFL ceased to exist and then all of a sudden you had, the AFC and NFC trying to create their own leagues, and the AFC is like, you know what? I know we've never had a team from Boise, Idaho. We've never had a team from Charleston, South Carolina. We've never had, a team out in Rochester, New York. But starting tomorrow, we're going to 3 months before the season starts. It would not work. Those teams would fall so far beneath the line of bankruptcy that it would screw over the entire league.
And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to work for Europe. It's not. I don't care what they say on the AFLE side. It's not going to work. These teams are going to suck. They're going to be non-competitive. And it's ridiculous because the EFA, they came out and they said, hey, in 2 years, we're going to have Milan and we're going to have London. We're getting things placed together, and then these teams are going to join in 2027. Because they're actually trying to do the groundwork.
They're vetting everyone. They're making sure they have finances.
They're trying to do all of these things that make a ton of sense, right? They're trying to make sure these are competitive, good rosters. Stadiums, all this stuff, right? But the AFLE, they're just like, oh, we only got 4 teams. Let's just go grab the London Warriors and hope to God they'll do okay. And it's like, come on. Like, it's ridiculous. And you know what?
I think the fans are stupid.
Yeah, they absolutely.
Yes, they think we're incredibly stupid.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, we are, but like, do they think?
Brother, they're actually. I'm not going to say that on the spot. Never mind. that might have been one step too far. But yeah, they think we're stupid for sure.
I mean, it's just disrespectful to everybody involved. Like, it's disrespectful to the players. It's disrespectful to the cities. It's disrespectful to the fans. It's disrespectful to the insiders. It's disrespectful to the owners. All of it's disrespectful. It's all a slap in the face.
And in our interview with Moritz, they said the teams that they're creating, they're integrating themselves with the local talent in the local infrastructure and getting involved in the local leagues, right? Or something along that lines.
Mm-hmm. And baffling.
The CEO is saying that, and he might be out of the loop on what is actually happening completely, but the Paris Flash or whatever, the French team in the French league, the Flash, came out and they're pissed off at the Paris Lights because the Paris Lights are trying to poach all of their players.
Sure.
And so they just showed up like unannounced and they're like, "What is going on?" And then the
Firenze Red Lions, same shit with them.
Yeah.
They asked for branding or nothing to the Florence team that was already there.
and they stole their team colors
Mhm.
and the location, and they're wanting to just steal their homegrowns. It's like there's a way to integrate. You didn't do it right if that's what you're trying
And when
to
we
do.
talked to Tebs, guess who wasn't involved at all for the London process? BAFA. They had no clue what was going on, right?
They had an emergency meeting.
So good work. You're really integrating yourself in the communities of these teams, and you're not just a bunch of fucking acting like a bunch of colonizers coming in and just taking what's yours. Like,
Well,
I mean, I know that's a very European thing, to go and take shit from. I'm sorry, I gotta stop.
Well, I mean, the AFE is also backed by Americans, so I mean, we kind of do the same thing.
I mean, yeah,
But Americans are also colonizers too, brother. We can. That's
yeah, the AFLE is backed by Americans.
shout out my boy William McKinley for being the first American colonizer. You were fucking great president, dumbass. Sorry, I don't know. That guy's long dead. I don't know why I'm so pissed off at him, but we wouldn't be a colonizing nation if it wasn't for William McKinley. Sorry if there's any William McKinley fans out there, but that's one of the worst presidents we ever had. Fuck that guy.
Wait. Was McKinley before or after Andrew Jackson? I thought Andrew Jackson was before him.
Well, Andrew Jackson was before him, and obviously he colonized on the continent, but I'm talking about overseas colonization.
I pick it up what you're putting down. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck Andrew Jackson too. That guy's a piece of shit as well. But,
yeah, he's more of a genocider, really.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, hey, shout out McKinley. Same thing there. Look up anything about the Philippine American War. I'm sorry, we're getting on a fucking history lesson here, but any Europeans that are ignorant of it, look up the Philippine American War. We're one of the first countries to ever do a concentration camp, one of the earliest concentration camps ever to be recorded in history. So, shout out McKinley, piece of shit, and shout out the EFA for you guys being a bunch of idiots, and AFLE, both of y'all. Sorry, I don't mean to call out just one league. I'm being respectful I'm being fair in my criticism now. I'm not just gonna keep bouncing on it for the EFA. You guys are a bunch of clowns too with all this shit. Like, come on now.
Yeah. I originally at the beginning I was like, oh, the EFA's got it together, all this other stuff, and then once they between the website and the schedule release and their inability to utilize journalists who've been actively saying, hey, let us break your news for you, and like a lot of other little things over time, I'm like, okay, yeah, y'all suck too. It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all also suck.
And it's
and I do apologize because Planetto was a lovely individual, very well spoken, has definitely taken some sort of a speech and debate class in his lifetime, but the EFA sucks too, man. Like I'm appalled at this website.
I will keep iterating. I am not pissed off at the individual owners for these teams because they have the passion. They're trying to do what's right for them. I may be a little pissed off at Vienna's owners. I'm not going to lie. But everybody else, is actually just trying to get something together. It's these fucking shadow organizations that we randomly have that we can't know anything about. But at least the AFLE has something there. They're like, hey, Moritz is our punching bag. Keep punching on Moritz. Keep shitting on him, right? EFA won't even give us a punching bag. They're just like, oh, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. The AFLE being like, oh, well, we have a bunch of money coming in from somebody, but you don't need to know. Why would you even want to know?
Dude,
that doesn't sound like money laundering at all.
I'm telling you, when the AFLE crashes and burn, it's going to be hilarious to look into like what money they were using or what fake money they were using.
Dude, the Netflix documentary, whenever all the dust settles from all of this, is going to be insane. It's going to be, what was the name of that concert series that never happened that was supposed to be on like an island or something?
Oh my God. Holy shit. What is that?
Burning Man or something like that.
Was it Burning Man? But that was the first thing that popped in my head, Burning Man.
It might have been it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I haven't thought about that in forever.
Yeah.
That went wrong.
Because tickets were like stupid expensive and
Oh, the Fire Festival.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. A couple years from now, whenever all the dust settles from this EFA, AFLE, ELF drama, I hope that Netflix reaches out to us, Brezington, Malchow, Jamal, the first down guys, all of us journalists and photographers around the league who kind of just watched it crash and burn. I would love to be a part of that interview process for that documentary because that shit would be bomb as fuck.
We should honestly just start a documentary no matter what. it either crashes and burns or it succeeds, and we have a documentary out of it.
That's a good point.
You know what?
Hey, I will give the AFLE credit. They're going to make it a lot further than the Fire Festival, which never got off. I do think the AFLE is going to play a game. I think it's going to be ugly as shit, and I think it's not going to be good. It's not going to be a good product, and they might not make it a couple more weeks, but I think they're actually going to play a game. So,
because their first game in AFLE history, your Berlin Thunder at the Vienna Vikings.
Yeah, because that's going to be a close fucking game.
It's going to be a fucking slaughter. And dude, I love what a bunch of idiots. Like who the fuck isn't like? I guess we kind of know who's in charge of the AFLE, but you guys got to fucking screw your brains on. You got to figure out. You got to plug in your brain into some sort of outlet, and you got to like wake up. Because what the fuck do you think you're doing? Making your first game of the season, the tone setter of your league. You're going to have the Berlin Thunder go out there and get fucking 80 bombed by the Vienna Vikings. Because I'm telling you right now, they might try to say you're not allowed a 35-piece teams. I guarantee a lot of those Vienna players, they're not going to listen to that
does
shit.
Not care.
Yeah. You think Ben's not going to go out there?
Beer Bomber is going to care about some 35-0
rule? Yeah.
Did you say Beer Bomber?
Yeah.
He's in the Louisville Kings now, baby.
Oh, he's not even part of Vienna anymore. Oh, he
no.
made
Instead, they signed an NFL tight end from Austria.
Oh. Well, regardless, do you think Ben Holmes is going to give a shit about a 35-0
rule? Yeah, I'm telling
he's
you.
He's going to throw like 700 touchdowns.
Dude, honestly, if anything, Ben Holmes, because we've gotten to know him over the years, and I mean this in a very loving and endearing way, he's just enough of an asshole that he'd be like, I'm going to make it 42-0. Like,
he's great.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is like, how the hell do you look at your team? You got 5 non-competitive teams. Let's not throw throat swab in there. They're actually trying to do shit. We got 5 teams that are just straight up non-competitive, most likely. How are you going to put one of those against one of your best teams in the first game of the season? Have your first game be Vienna Rhine, and then you can sit there and be like, look at the product we got. Look how good this is. Incredible. Look how great this is. I mean, hopefully someone's listening and they're going to change the schedule because they've already changed it once. So, I mean, they didn't know what the fuck was going on. So they're just going to keep changing it as we keep going.
They didn't ask anybody about it either.
They didn't ask anything about it. So never responded to my Instagram.
I will say the second game I am curious because this London team, they are pulling it from a different league. If they get good homegrowns, like they could be decent.
Hopefully.
And against Wroclaw, like it could work.
Is it at Wroclaw or is it at?
It's in London. So the team we have no clue about, no name, no stadium, no nothing. They're hosting a game May 24th.
So
hell yeah.
What I am most worried or intrigued about is based on what we know about the original London Warriors team from Tebs is that they don't have an actual stadium.
No,
they literally just play on a grass pitch. So are we just doing standing room only tickets? Or we're just going to have people standing on the sidelines talking shit? I mean, as a football purist, I'm not against that idea because, in Blue Mountain State, the show, for those of y'all who know ball, the series finale was played in a cornfield. And it was literally just 2 teams who beat the dog shit out of each other. And that was it. That was the whole point of the thing at the end. So, if that's what they want to do, I'm here for it. But there's not going to be fans.
There's rumors that one of the women's soccer clubs, they're going to use one of their stadiums.
Oh, thank God for the women, dude.
There's 3 or 4 stadiums in London that have an under 10,000 capacity that they could probably use.
We just had International Women's Day. Shout out the women, bro, because apparently this league would be nothing without women. So I just thank you to the women of London for being so kind as to spare a measly morsel, a minor crumb of greatness for this shitty-ass men's league. One
woman tried to screw a lot of the other teams over, though. The Tyrol lady, she kind of screwed people over.
Okay, but not as bad as the Vienna guy. So you know what? In the theme of national
Austrians.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, pay attention to history. Austrians cause a lot of problems.
All right. We can't ramble on this episode. EFA dropped their schedule. They dropped a whole document for immediate release announces 26th season schedule in premier, quote, destination playoff weekends. I kind of like the idea because their weekend, their playoffs, they're calling it party weekends. The Frankfurt playoff weekend, August 15th through 16th, they will host both semifinal games at one stadium. It'll be anchored by a massive league-wide party all weekend, basically the biggest part of the party on Saturday night in the heart of Frankfurt. So they're bringing everybody in to watch two games for the Final Four, which if we like March Madness, it's March. The Final Four is electric. So if this has anything even close to it, this party weekend could be kind of fun.
Which weekend is that so I can mark my calendar?
August 15th and 16th.
Probably want to go to the weekend
15th.
after.
Oh, I will have access to the Denver International Airport again. And I have so many unused United miles because I've been living in Salt Lake the past year.
Oh, yeah,
so,
they don't do United there.
Yeah, no. They
All
don't.
Delta, baby.
Only
Oh, Delta, baby.
my United miles don't do shit out here. So
No.
I could probably split half that ticket with my miles.
We probably want to do the weekend after because that would be the championship weekend, right?
So yeah, you could go in like the Friday, like the 13th, and then just kind of leave that following.
I don't have that much PTO, unfortunately.
You don't got a week of PTO?
Well, I do, but it's going towards my anniversary trip, and my wife would kill me if
You don't got 2 weeks of PTO? I know I have 2 weeks of PTO.
How much PTO do you got, my guy? You're always traveling. They just give you 40 hours a week?
Wait, which guy are you bitching at, me or Danny?
No, Danny.
Okay.
Danny says he's got 2 weeks of PTO right now. You're always traveling. How do you got 2 weeks of PTO?
I don't know.
Yeah, how do you? Because we have the same amount of PTO accrual.
I don't know. I just do. Don't ask me. Ask the company that we both work for.
Danny hasn't been tracking his PTO. I'm alone.
I just looked at it because we got our bonuses.
And I sure did get my bonus. Woo! Thank God.
Must be nice. They don't do that in social work.
My entire bonus is pretty much moving back to Colorado. So it's.
I mean, no, hey, you pay for your move. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't have to use any loans for it. So
I've never gotten a bonus my whole life.
that's crazy. Dog,
Yeah, they don't do it in social work. You don't get bonuses.
Dog, we got to get you into HR, man.
Depending on the company I work in HR, they probably. Well, I guess if I went to a real company, they probably would.
Because our HR people get bonuses. I would know. I'm BFFs with one of them.
That's nice.
Football?
Right. Yeah. Enough talking about money because we're talking about shit that doesn't make money. So,
But football. Opening weekend for the EFA, May 15th to 17th. We knew that. But they're on a Friday night lights game. That's kind of fun. I think it's the first European game that we know of on a Friday with Frankfurt at Paris. That should be a good game. And then Nordic Prague and Munich Raiders. It's good week one slate. But we said it before, with 7 teams, this was already going to be a bloodbath of a season. With 6 teams, it's going to be the exact same.
yeah.
They did shorten the thing from 12 games to 10 games. So we did lose 2 games. But it makes sense. We don't need to see a couple rematches of teams that we've already seen. So yeah, double round robin over 13 weeks. Midsummer, I know I ranted this last week. League-wide bye week 11. Stupid. But it is what it is.
Well, actually, that's the week that I moved back to Colorado. So you know what? That works out for me. Hey, shout out the EFA. They must have known.
They must have known.
They must have known. They said, you know what? George's going to be going through a hard time that week. League-wide bye. Love
League-wide bye. He'll just be in the middle of his MVP article instead, because that's usually when he writes it.
Yeah, probably.
But no, we shit on the leagues a lot. But if they do play, and I believe they will, the talent level in the one league will obviously be higher, but there will still be exciting games to watch. Like the EFA, they'll be competitive. The AFLE will have some competitive games, but it's also fun to see Fenzia versus Alpine, because who's the bottom of the worst?
That is true.
I mean, the
shit are fun.
The battle for Shit Hill is going to be incredible this upcoming season.
Like the Hamburg Cologne games were electric.
Yeah, like the Rhine Berlin game are not going to be fun, but the Berlin, what other? I don't even know what teams there are anymore.
The Paris
Berlin Paris could be fun.
Oh no, dude, it's gonna be all about Berlin Alpine, baby.
Berlin Alpine, beautiful.
Scrumptious. I want all the people.
Why do they keep making us have to watch Switzerland football, man? Like it's just been Swiss football has just been so bad to watch since we started.
Jamal Clay.
Yeah,
Bro,
I mean, good for Jamal, but
they're just too polite out there, bro. They don't get into wars. They're not really about that life. How you gonna have a warrior sport like football and have people who ain't never been in war before? You know what I'm saying? That's just. I know that's a really ignorant American thing of me to say, but truly, like when you look at the warrior sports, what countries are the best at them? Normally, the countries that are in a lot of wars. I'm just saying.
Iran's not.
Well, to be fair with Iran.
Yeah. But hold on, before we dive on,
we can't do it. I'm gonna go off if we keep talking about it. You have to hear levels of
Bring us back in, Danny.
Since the EFA released news today, does that mean we're gonna get the London team tomorrow? That's usually how this works, right?
Yeah.
One person does something, the other league does something.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get a London announcement tomorrow.
I would say so. I mean, that tracks, I would say. Either that or we're going to get more info on either like Alpine or the lights or something because
I just want to see jerseys. At this point, just give us something fun. Give us the jerseys. Give us something that we can talk crap about.
The rate that this is going, the AFLE is going to release jerseys, but what it's actually going to be is just their graphic designer is going to make some jerseys on the spot and not clear it with anybody. But it's going to be great because we're going to be like, oh, dude, these jerseys are sick. And then we're going to hear like inside whisperings like, yeah, that's not actually going to be the jerseys though.
K-Pro will come out and be like, what are you doing?
It's going to be like high school teams. They're not going to have a secondary color on any of the jerseys. They're just going to be like, it's like, yep, Reiner just red.
Reiner just red.
You couldn't design a second color on there.
But
well,
EFA, if you need a logo or not a logo, you just redid that. But if you need a website, reach out.
Oh no, if you need a logo too, please.
No, they just spent a bunch of money on that. So
they spent a bunch of money on that.
Could be worse.
I mean, I guess I see the E in it. I guess
it's not AI.
Which, thank God, good for them.
Yeah,
bare
minimum website though.
I'm not gonna applaud that.
No, but I'm saying if you need a website though, hit me up, man. Got a lot going on, but I can make a website.
I'll help Danny do it.
Yeah, you can make a website a lot quicker and a lot better looking than whatever the fuck I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, all the fonts on the pages are different sizes as well.
Dude, I bet when I tab into this, I get like way wider looking because it's a fucking flashbang on this website.
But no, I'm just excited that we're probably gonna get football.
I was.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was excited.
Then you just popped Tanner's balloon.
Gentlemen, y'all are more than welcome to continue going, but I do have my 4:30 in time today because I still have marathon training. I'm so over this shit. Do y'all need me for anything else?
I think we're good just to wrap up, to be honest. I'm gonna keep saying bad things and it's not gonna be good. So
yeah, we did talk a lot of shit today. You know what? And I hope that every EFA and AFLE owner, managerial person, higher up, money giver, and fan of both leagues heard every word that we had to say because your product is shit right now. Okay? So, yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with us, everybody. This has been Danny, Tanner, and Jordan saying that you can follow us on social media. We are at Fourth Down Fiasco on Instagram and TikTok, and we are also at Fourth Down _pod on the Twitter twatter because we refuse to call that shit X. Aside from that, it's been your three favorite idiots saying so long, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
Hugs and kisses besides everybody who killed Madrid. Y'all could suck my dick.